channel. Today is officially our 15th or 16th day of quarantine here in the UK. The government has announced quarantine a week ago, but we basically self-isolate since I came back from the Philippines. For me, for obvious reason, because obviously I travel to other country, cross between countries and airports, so it was definitely a sensible thing to do. So yeah, the past 2 weeks have been pretty surreal. I mean, we both work from home, me and Sam, so it hasn't changed anything dramatically. I guess if you never work from home, you probably feel it a bit more. But yeah, it is pretty weird. London is very quiet. There is this kind of like sense of like stillness, of everything is on pause. And yeah, I mean, there's a part of me that actually like this kind of like peace, but it's also a very worrying time, I guess, for everyone. Obviously from a health point of view, because, you know, there's lots of people that have lost their lives, but also from a financial point of view, lots of people have lost their jobs. We are both self-employed, so I would be lying if I say that, you know, we do have worries of what the future holds. But anyway, let's bring it back to a positive note. Today I thought I'd film just a very chilled kind of like at home video, what I'm eating. Yeah, I guess it's gonna be like what I'm eating a day during quarantine. We have been making a conscious effort to waste as little food as possible. We are obviously not perfect, so I'm not gonna pretend that we never waste anything. But we are trying very, very hard to eat up every single bit of leftover or turn it into something else. Because yeah, I think it's definitely the right time to be more conscious about what we consume, how much we consume, and definitely try not to waste anything. Supermarkets are slowly getting back to normal, I would say. Like, you also have the queuing system, so not as many people can go into the supermarket at once, which is great because it just feels a bit more quieter and not just crazy madness like it was 2 weeks ago. But there are lots of items which you still struggle to find, like flour or yeast, if you want to make like pizza bread, and things like beans and lentils and even like pasta. It's a bit tricky to, like, you can't find them. I think if you shop around in a few different shops, you probably can get your hands onto something, but they're still quite a rare sight. So definitely trying to make the most of what we have already in the house. I've been going through all my pantry and all my freezer and try to use up things which have been sitting there for like months, basically. So use those first before going out and buying more food. And obviously, because we don't know exactly what's gonna happen, it also makes sense from a financial point of view to be a bit more frugal with your food. So saying all of that, let's get into the video. Let's start with breakfast. I haven't had anything to eat yet, so I'm gonna make myself a steel cut oat porridge, which I had some of these steel cut oats in the cupboard for ages, and a cloud coffee, which is my new latest obsession, and I'll show you how to do it. So these are the steel cut oats, which I soaked last night in some boiling water. This is what they look like. So I don't know if you can see, but they are much chunkier than regular porridge oats, so you do want to soak them so they cook much quicker. I literally had this jar for the longest time ever, and I thought it's time to eat them. So I've soaked them with some hot water so they cook quicker, as I said, and then I have these 2 apple, which they've definitely seen better days. So what I'm gonna do, oh, there is some cat hair. That's what happens when you have cats, you have fluff everywhere. So I'm basically gonna stew them, I think, in a little bit of coconut sugar and some cinnamon to make like a warm kind of apple stewy thing. And I also have some plums. I think there is a few which they're quite ripe, so I'm gonna do maybe apple and plum stewed fruit to top my porridge. So I'm just gonna start to cook the porridge. I guess I don't need to show you how to cook porridge, but you just wanna put all your oats, also with the water, because it really doesn't matter, into a pan. And then you just wanna cook it for about, this all kind of oats definitely take longer than porridge oats. So I would say between 10 to 15 minutes. And I'm gonna add some oat milk. or whatever, obviously, milk that you like. And yeah, the oats are gonna be cooked. I'm just gonna add a pinch of salt. I feel like salt really brings out the flavor in porridge. And now we're gonna get on to the apples. In here I've got the chopped apple and the chopped plum with dash of water to prevent from burning. And now I'm gonna add some coconut sugar. You can add as little or as much as you like. I'm probably going for about a tablespoon maybe. And I'm also gonna add some cinnamon, because cinnamon and apple is just amazing. Maybe that's enough. We're gonna give it a good stir, and we're gonna kind of like let it bubble on a low medium heat for about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, and now we're moving on to cloud coffee, which is the latest trend apparently on TikTok, and I actually really love it because it tastes so good. So you do need to use some instant coffee granule. This is the one I'm using because that's the one I've got in the house, but obviously any coffee granule would work. I'm using some coconut sugar, but you can use also just normal white sugar if you want to. So I've used about 1.5 tablespoons of coffee and about half a tablespoon of sugar because I don't like my coffee too sweet. And now you just want to add equal quantities of water. I will leave a link in the description box for a full recipe and full tutorial. And now we're just gonna whisk it. Lunchtime, and today I thought I'd try a new recipe which I never made before, which is vegan arancini balls, because I have some leftover risotto from yesterday which I don't want to throw away, and I'm not the biggest fan of risotto warmed up the next day. I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. So I thought it would be the perfect excuse to make arancini for the very first time. I don't think I ever made arancini even when I wasn't vegan, so let's give it a go. My leftover pea, leek and lemon risotto, which the recipe, by the way, it's on the blog, so I will link it down below. And for the coating, these are the ingredients. The recipe, by the way, is not mine. It's from Night School Vegan, I think it's called. I'll link it below anyway. So we need some oat milk for the batter, some gram flour, some plain white flour, and obviously some breadcrumbs, and a pinch of salt. Luckily, I had all the ingredients already in my pantry, so I didn't have to buy anything extra. I'm just trying to make the most of some leftovers, so let's see how it goes. I have my butter, and I also have the breadcrumbs. I also have some vegan cheese in the fridge, this vegan mozzarella style, which I'm gonna add to the leftover risotto. You can obviously leave it out if you don't have any cheese on hand. I think it would be delicious anyway. I mean, anything fried is delicious. So I'm just gonna add some of these, not much, just like a small handful to the risotto, and then I'm gonna mix. And then the recipe says, which I don't know, I feel like I don't know if this is gonna work, to cover your hand with some cling film. I think because the risotto is very sticky, and try to roll it into balls and then dip it into the batter and then dip it into the breadcrumbs. Let's see how that goes. would say. Not too bad. Let me just switch off the fan. So I'm doing 4 at the time, and I've just flipped the first 2, and now I'm gonna flip the other 2 as well. This is the first 4. Ideally, you wanna rest them on some paper towel, but I normally don't buy paper towels, so I'm using some baking paper because you just wanna get rid of the extra excess oil. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I think they look pretty good. Maybe they don't look quite as round as arancini do. They're more like kind of like arancini cakes, but I've got the feeling they're gonna taste delicious. And here are the arancini, guys. They smell amazing. I just made a quick dip to take the pictures for the thumbnail. So this is just coconut yogurt, chopped spring onion, lemon, salt and pepper. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to dig in. To go with my arancini, I just made a very simple salad. So I've got some lettuce, some avocado, some shredded Savoy cabbage and some cherry tomatoes. Time to try these bad boys. I'm so excited. Right, let's try the first one. They're gonna be cold because I did photograph them. These are so good. To be honest, anything fried is good, but I think this is such a delicious way to eat leftover risotto. Just came back home from our run. I had a shower. I changed, well, I put on the same clothes really because at the moment I'm literally wearing the same jumper for 5 days straight. It's 5:30 right now, so it's a bit early for dinner and I'm a bit hungry. So let me show you one of my favorite post-run afternoon snack at the moment. Is nothing groundbreaking, but I just love a good apple and some peanut butter. This is what I normally buy from Pip and Nut. Is smooth and it's just so creamy and delicious, and I just literally dip the apple slices into the peanut butter and it's just so good. For dinner I have more leftovers to finish. So this is a chickpea and broccoli curry which I made 2 days ago, and I've got just a little bit to finish. And I also have some of these tortilla wraps which have been in the fridge for quite some time. So I'm thinking to make a curry wrap. I know it might sound a bit weird, but I think it should work with some creamy avocado, some lettuce leaves. I've got some spring onion, and I also still have some of these coconut yogurt and spring onion dip which I made today. So let's give it a go. Ready. The tortilla did break out a little bit and yeah, but it will be fine. I also made a mixed salad for both of us. It's now time to cut it into it, and hopefully it will taste delicious. I think I need another knife. This is not gonna work. Time to try it. You know what? It's actually better than I thought. I don't know if you can see. Got the creamy avocado, the coconut yogurt. It actually works really well. Just finished our dinner and I'm just sipping on some mint and something else there, I don't remember. It's called a Twinings Digest. I might have a little bit of chocolate later. I've been obsessed with this divine dark chocolate with blueberry and popped quinoa. Is so good. I think I don't, yeah, I still have quite a few, which is great. Can you see that the quinoa pops are all here? So it's quite nice and crunchy. I'm literally obsessed with this chocolate right now. And that's all. I'm just gonna chill on the sofa, watch some Netflix, and call it a day. 10 o'clock now, and I think I'm about to go to bed. I think I'm officially spent for the day. The last thing which I want to mention is that normally before I go to bed I take my supplement. I know it sounds like a weird time, but I don't know, it's just when I remember. So at the moment I'm taking a multivitamins just to cover a few basic, especially with everything that's going on. And I also take an extra vitamin C supplements, again just because everything is going on. I want to make sure my immune system it's well and strong. And I also been taking an omega-3 supplements. This is the one I'm taking. I will leave the link down below, just because omega-3 is slightly harder to get on a vegan diet. I mean, you can get omega-3 on a vegan diet, but I don't sometimes remember to take my flaxseed or my hemp seed or my walnuts every single day. And omega-3 is actually really good for your skin as well, to kind of like fight inflammation. So yeah, I feel like a nut supplement is just an easier way to make sure you get everything you need. And that's it. That's all for me, I guess. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too much all over the place. I will try to upload a bit more frequently now that I have more time, now that I'm at home 99.9% of the time. I hope you are doing okay. It's a really tough time for everyone. I feel like this has affected everyone in some ways or the other. So my heart goes out to all of you. I hope you're well, I hope you're safe, stay healthy, look after yourself, nourish your body, and let's just pray that, you know, this is gonna be over very soon. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again hopefully in the next video. Bye!